This is a list of what we're about to do today. In total, will take about 30 minutes. Let's put on all the gears, especially your protective gears, and get started with a warm-up. Next, let's do a side bone muscle warm-up. Bend your board on one side and lean your torso towards the opposite side. Try to keep balance and put strength on the side core muscle. Keep in your comfort zone and try to bend a little bit more each time. Keep going and feel the bend of the board. Try to gradually put your weight more and more to the bending point. Gradually, let your body to convince your brain to confidently stand one foot on the board's bending point. Press down the foot on the floor and lift up the foot in the air. Feel the board's flex level and get familiar with it. Next, let's do a 90-degree counter rotation. Do a small jump and twist your board to one side of your body while your arms rotate to the opposite side of the 90 degrees. Jump both to the left and right side. Use your core to control the position. Do not over-rotate and keep your muscle and body in your comfort zone. It's okay if you cannot rotate 90 degrees. After enough practice, reaching 90 degrees will be easier and easier. Last, let's do Ollie and Nollie hold. Lean forward to nose and tail side of your board. Imagine there's a chair in front of you and try to reach out to the chair and touch the surface of the chair. Try to avoid sudden movement and gradually reach out to the imaginary chair surface. Strengthen your side muscle to control the balance. Relax the leg in the air and try just to use your core muscle to control the balance. Let your body and brain get used to the flex of your board. Once gets confident with a certain angle, try reach out a little bit further and lower. Now you're warmed up. Let's move on to the workout. We will first do normal plus switch side front and back 180s. If you have successfully followed the workout sessions one by one until this episode, you should have got used to a solid basic 180 and 360 rotations muscle memory. Starting from this episode, we will start to combine different rotations within one workout. You will find it a bit difficult when changing from a front rotation to a back rotation, especially for 360s. Though we have done the normal front and back 180s before, in this round of practice, let's leave the 270 arm rotation to be handled by your muscle memory and focus on side core muscles. Instead of just finishing the 180s, try to lift the leg in the air a little bit more by strengthening your side core muscles. You may find your torso will bend more at your side core in this way. Keep repeating the 180 front and back side in this way and let your body feel how you could do the trick with complete confidence and control. We will write the same tricks and switch side in this round. You may have realized that switch between normal and switch side right away already give you a different feeling now. For the specific trick combo, we're pressing the board's nose when riding normal and pressing the board's tail when riding switch. I think only if you're riding in a duck stance and have a true twang board and forcing yourself to stand right in the middle of the board. Otherwise, more likely the rotation will feel different between riding normal and switch side. Eventually, after enough practice, the goal is to let your muscle and body to know what to do when riding both ways and when switching to either side. Let's go back to normal side in this round and repeat the front and back 180 tricks. Now you may suddenly feel the confidence of riding a normal direction when just returned from the switch direction. This confidence is a proof of your expanded comfort zone. By taking advantage of this confidence, let's try to put more weight on the board's press. We are pressing the nose of the board in the specific case. Feel the board flex and deflex at the bending point and give it a bit more press during the rotation. Keep in mind that wearing protective gears will not only protect you, but also will help you to feel safer during the workout. Therefore, will help you to relax the muscle and brain and focus on the rotation tricks. We're going back to right on switch side this time. With the first 4 to 5 rotations, you may need your muscle to recall how to do the switch side rotations as smooth as the normal side. Once reached to that point, try to give it a bit more pressure in the same way as we're practicing during the last round when doing the normal side. If your riding stance is asymmetric, meaning not duck and or standing towards tail side of the board, you will find switch side bending is actually easier than front side because we're bending shorter amount of the board when pressing the tail. Let your body to feel freer and safer when doing each one of the practice. Next, let's do a normal plus switch side back and front 180s. We will move to the downhill side of the carpet to start. Almost the same maneuver in different order. Now let's focus on a few fundamentals and basics. In this round, let's focus on keeping the right head and eyes direction. Always know where is the downhill side of your room. You need to keep your head and eyes focused on this direction. You may not need to lock your eyes on that direction, but you do need to very consciously know where it is and look at it as much as possible. Believe it or not, your head and eyes movement surely is part of the muscle memory that you need to establish during the practice. Having the correct muscle memory for head and eyes movement will not only help you to ride safer on a mountain, but also get you better prepared for 360s or even future 540s and 720s. Let's do switch side again. While you're aware that switch side feels differently from the normal side, we need to clarify that the goal is to reduce that difference between the two. Our body is mostly asymmetrical, and we choose either regular or goofy because of this reason. Therefore, your normal side will feel easier to learn and control. So, when we practice switch side, understand this difference and maybe spend a little bit more time on the switch side practice. Over time, you will be able to muscle memorize the maneuvers confidently for both sides. We are switching to normal side and let's talk about adjusting your stance. Stance means angle location and enter distance of your bindings. You can refer to the indoor snowboard workout 12 tips video for more details. At this point, you may start to feel the subtles of your stance after enough time doing the indoor snowboard workout. I would recommend you to have a hand drill with a screwdriver handy around and try to adjust your stance once in a while. Please note, it does not matter what stance you ride. You could do the indoor snowboard workout in almost any stance. It's easier for us to feel the subtle discomfort of binding setting when we're at home doing this practice. Depending on the purpose, you could significantly do some big stance setting change or gradually fine-tune the settings to the optimal status for your body plus board combo. We will do switch side again this time. Let's continue to talk about stance setting. In my own story, by end of last season, I was generally riding duck, but I really want to try forward lean stance to give me a better posture dynamics when carving. And obviously, I do not want to compromise the ability of jumping park and rotating butter either. So I started from standing on a bare board without binding or boot and figured out a stance to start with, meaning the angle, location, and enter distance of your bindings. After trying the stance with the binding and boot, it feels a bit different, so I started adjusting accordingly. Then, after many days of practicing and refining, I found out this setting that is perfect for me to stand on this board for all types of use cases. I highly recommend you to start doing the same adjustment to your gears as we are practicing. Expect a long duration and many times of iterations. Let's do switch side front 360. For front 360, let's reiterate the key techniques points. Rewind your front arm 90 degrees, powerful 270-degree swing, lock swing arm and let other arm to catch. Next level, lock your core, press the board and hold for 2 more seconds. Gradually, after you have muscle memorized all the key techniques, the final level is to forget all the previous techniques when they're already part of yourself. Focus only on the head and eyes rotation. Or, in another word, knowing your riding direction. When we're on the snow, when all the techniques are already part of yourself, one thing we could simply not ignore is the riding direction, simply because it is a factor that may change depending on the specific slope condition. Therefore, head and eyes movement training could help you to excel your riding to the next level. To remind everybody the key techniques for front 360, rewind front arm 90 degrees, powerful 270 degrees swing, lock swing arm and let the other arm to catch. Next level, lock your core, press the board and hold for 1 or 2 more seconds at the board's bending. Final level, knowing your riding direction and start and finish the trick with your eyes looking at the downhill. Front 360 butter surely will help you with front 360 jump as well. However, please note that they are still different movements. When jumping at a bump for 360, if you apply the same techniques as the butter 360, chances that you may not be able to get the expected result. For the jumping tricks, in my opinion, trampoline is still a better training tool, and the indoor snowboard workout is surely very helpful in various ways. I will restate the 7th point of the previous tutorial video. Do one thing at a time. This applies to every round of your workout. It'll be great if you have a clear goal about the key point to focus on during each round of the practice. And it's totally okay to practice one little technique point over many rounds of workout. One mistake that I did personally is that after getting much better at the techniques with enough muscle memory, I forgot to have a clear goal of what to focus on and wasted quite some time focusing on nothing. The result is my posture quality degrade in those rounds of practice, or in other words, I damaged the newly established muscle memory by repeating the wrong maneuver many times. It took me more time to go back to the right muscle memory, and you definitely do not want the same thing happen to yourself. Last round of front 360, let's talk about solidifying the front 360. Over a few weeks of practice of 180s and many different 180 combinations, you are able to finish 180 in a confident and flexible ways. For 360, the amount of time you need to spend is probably 3 to 4 times more to achieve the same level of consistency and confidence level. So just to set the expectation here, be patient to yourself and just let time and workout do its own job here. After enough time spent on practicing, your body will surprise you one day eventually. Let's do switch side back 360. Please be careful with the first few turns because back 360 will feel very different from front 360. For back 360, let's reiterate the key technique points. Rewind back arm 90 degrees, powerful 270 degree swing, lock swing arm, let the other arm catch, and counter rotate lower body to finish the full 360. Next level, lock your core, press the board, and hold for 1 or 2 more seconds of the board bending. Gradually, after you have muscle memorized all the key techniques, the final level is to forget all the previous tricks as they are already part of yourself. Focus only on the head and eyes rotation, or in another word, knowing your riding direction. When all the techniques are already part of yourselves, one thing we can simply not ignore is the riding direction, simply because it is the factor that may change depending on the specific slope condition. Therefore, head and eyes movement training could help you to excel your riding to the next level. To remind the key techniques for back 360 again, rewind back arm back 90 degrees, powerful 270 degree swing, lock swing arm and let the other arm catch. Next level, lock your core, press the board and hold for 1 or 2 more seconds of the board bending. Final level, knowing your riding direction and start and finish the trick with your eyes looking at it downhill. Back 360 butter surely will help you with back 360 jump as well. However, please note that there are still different movements. When jumping at a bump for 360, if you apply the same technique as the butter 360, chances that you may not be able to get the expected result. For the jumping tricks, in my opinion, trampoline is still a better training tool, and the indoor snowboard workout is surely a very health supporting training tool in various ways. I will reiterate the seventh point of the previous tutorial videos. Do one thing at a time. This applies to every round of your workout. It will be great if you have a clear goal about what key point to focus on during each round of the practice. And it's totally okay to practice one little technique point over many rounds of the workout. One mistake that I did personally is that after getting much better at the techniques with enough muscle memory, I forgot to have a clear goal of what to focus on and wasted quite some time focusing on nothing. The result is my posture quality degraded in those rounds of practice, or in other words, I damaged the newly established muscle memory by repeating the wrong maneuver many times. It took me more time to go back to the right muscle memory, and you definitely do not want the same thing happen to yourself. Last round of normal side back 360. Let's talk about solidifying the back 360. Over a few weeks of practice of 180s and many different 180 combinations, you are able to finish 180s in a confident and flexible ways. For 360, the amount of time you need to spend is probably 3 to 4 times more to achieve the same consistency and confidence level. And back 360 will take you twice as much time as front 360s, simply because it is indeed the most difficult techniques amongst all four of them. So just to set the expectation here, be patient to yourself and just let time and workout do its own job. After enough time spent on practicing, your body will surprise you one day, eventually. That's it. If you want to work out more, feel free to get some water and rewind the video to do another round. If you're interested to know more about indoor snowboard workout, please subscribe to my Home Daddy YouTube channel and browse through more tutorials and workout sessions. If you have any comments about indoor snowboard workout, please leave me a message in the comment section below. Also, if you have come up with any new tricks that are great for indoor snowboard workout, please feel free to leave me a comment as well as sending me the link of your video. Together, we could progress as a community to enjoy the fun and many benefits of snowboarding, not just on the mountain, but also at our home. I'll see you in the next video.